Every civilization has known it, that true strength begins not in the muscles nor in the mind, but deep within the gut. The ancients understood this through intuition. Today, we confirm it through science. What we feed our inner world determines the life if we live in the outer one. If I were to tell you that the secret to vitality, clarity, and resilience lies not in a pill, but in 5 simple fermented drinks, would you listen long enough to change your life? If we are to speak of health, we must begin not with the symptoms that trouble us, but with the systems that sustain us. Among these, none is more misunderstood or more central than the gut. Within it lives a vast and intelligent community of organisms working in silence to defend, digest, and direct much of what we call life. To neglect the gut is to overlook the foundation on which our vitality stands. To strengthen it is to empower every function of the human body. Today, I will speak of 5 powerful fermented drinks, natural, living creations that can transform that inner world and, through it, the course of our health itself. Fermentation is a partnership between nature and time. It is the alchemy through which raw ingredients are converted into something more potent, more alive. The process is ancient, older than medicine, older than science. Yet, only now are we beginning to understand what our ancestors intuitively knew, that these living foods and drinks restore balance to the body in ways that modern substitutes cannot replicate. The key lies not in the taste, not in the trend, but in the unseen life within. The probiotics, enzymes, and organic acids that nurture our microbial garden. The first of these drinks is Kefir, a humble, tangy beverage, rich with diverse strains of bacteria and yeast. It works not as a stimulant or supplement, but as a restorer of equilibrium. And when you drink Kefir regularly, you are replenishing the very defenders that guard your intestinal walls. It strengthens what medicine too often forgets: prevention. The second, Kombucha, carries a legacy of centuries. A fermented tea, light yet potent. It detoxifies gently while feeding the beneficial microbes that help convert food into energy. It's not an elixir of miracle, but a tonic of renewal. Then there is Lassi, the cooling probiotic drink of the East. Simple, nourishing, and balanced, it embodies a principle often lost in modern health culture moderation. It soothes while it strengthens. Kimchi juice, fiery and bold, comes next. This fermented brine is a liquid conversation between plants and microbes, filled with compounds that reduce inflammation and promote resilience. And finally, apple cider vinegar, often misunderstood as harsh, when diluted and taken wisely, acts as an ancient digestive companion. It primes the stomach, supports absorption, and encourages the gut to do what it was designed to do: sustain life with balance. These 5 drinks share a single message. Health is not achieved by fighting nature, but by cooperating with it. We cannot sterilize our way to wellness. The future of health lies not in conquest, but in collaboration between the human and the microbial, the modern and the ancient. To nourish the gut is to honor this partnership. So let us not chase the quick fix. Let us, instead, rediscover the quiet intelligence of fermentation, and in doing so, rediscover ourselves. If one observes the unfolding story of human health, a truth begins to emerge. Progress is not merely about invention, but about remembrance. We are rediscovering what nature has always known, that balance not excess, sustains life. The gut, that intricate laboratory within us, is a living reflection of this truth. Within it reside trillions of microorganisms, unseen yet indispensable, maintaining a harmony that influences not only digestion, but also immunity, emotion, and clarity of mind. When that harmony is disturbed, the entire human orchestra falls out of tune. But when it is restored, vitality returns with quiet precision. And among the most effective instruments for restoring that harmony are fermented drinks, nature's living medicines, crafted through time, patience, and microbial intelligence. Fermentation is not a human invention. It is a natural conversation between microorganisms and matter. We are merely participants, caretakers of that dialogue. Through fermentation, the simple becomes sophisticated. Milk becomes kefir. Tea becomes kombucha. Yogurt becomes lassi. Vegetables become kimchi, and apples become vinegar. These are not coincidences. They are the result of a natural process that transforms nutrition into vitality. In every culture, across centuries, this process has persisted, not out of habit, but out of necessity. And now, as modern science catches up, we find evidence of what tradition always taught: fermented foods are not relics of the past. They are blueprints for the future of health. Consider kefir, rich with probiotics and bioactive peptides. It fortifies the gut wall, aiding digestion while supporting the immune system's complex dialogue with the brain. Kombucha, with its effervescent tang, does more than refresh. It aids detoxification, reduces oxidative stress, and replenishes the microbiome with diversity. Lassi, gentle and nourishing, cools the digestive fire and restores balance after heat or heaviness. Kimchi juice, vibrant and alive, carries a microbial symphony born from vegetables and salt. An example of how even preservation can be a form of renewal. And apple cider vinegar, properly diluted, serves as a tonic to awaken the gut, enhance nutrient absorption, and regulate blood sugar. What connects them all is a principle deeper than nutrition. Each drink is alive. Each one carries forward the wisdom of coexistence. The understanding that we thrive not by domination, but by partnership with the smallest forms of life. Our future health depends not on eradicating bacteria, but on nurturing the right ones. Fermented drinks are the simplest, most natural way to do this. We live in a time where people look for health in laboratories, yet often the answers lie quietly in the kitchen, in the slow and patient work of microbes. These are not fads, they are expressions of balance. To drink them is to participate in an ancient act of healing, an act that does not demand faith, only consistency. For in the end, the body rewards those who work with it, not against it. And so, let fermentation be your teacher, patient, silent, and profoundly alive. There comes a moment in every era when humanity must pause and look inward, not only into its mind, but into its very biology. To remember that health is not a luxury, but a responsibility. We live in an age of abundance, yet our inner ecology has become fragile. The modern diet, filled with processed foods and sterile meals, has stripped away the living elements that once nourished our ancestors. And so, the question before us is not only what we eat, but whether what we eat still lives. The gut, our most silent and complex organ, depends upon this living connection. It thrives not on the sterile, but on the symbiotic, not on the preserved, but on the alive. That is why fermented drinks are not mere beverages. They are restorations of life itself. When we ferment, we invite cooperation. We allow bacteria and yeast, those unseen allies, to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. Through them, milk becomes kefir, tea becomes kombucha, yogurt becomes lassi, vegetables become kimchi juice, and fruit becomes apple cider vinegar. These transformations are more than culinary. They are biological. They create communities of living organisms that, when consumed, repopulate the gut with diversity and strength. Every sip of these fermented drinks is an act of renewal, a conversation between your body and nature's oldest intelligence. Kefir, the first of these, is often called drinkable yogurt, but it is far more profound than that. Containing dozens of beneficial strains, it introduces balance to a microbiome often disrupted by antibiotics, stress, and poor diet. Kombucha follows as a tonic of vitality. Born from tea, sugar, and thyme, it brings antioxidants and organic acids that aid digestion and detoxification. Lassi, gentle yet powerful, represents balance, cooling the system, easing digestion, and replenishing beneficial bacteria after heavy meals. Then comes kimchi juice, the essence of fermentation, fiery, potent, rich in lactic acid bacteria that not only protect the gut, but awaken the immune system. And finally, apple cider vinegar, the simplest, most accessible of all, improves the body's pH balance, enhances nutrient uptake, and acts as a subtle yet persistent ally to digestion. Each of these drinks carries a single, profound message. Health is not static, it is dynamic. It must be cultivated, not purchased. We cannot sterilize our way to strength. We must engage with the living processes that sustain life. To drink fermented beverages is to choose cooperation over control, patience over immediacy, and biology over chemistry. The time has come to return to these simple acts of care, to remember that in every glass of kefir, every sip of kombucha, there exists a small reflection of the larger truth life supports life. The microbes within these drinks do not seek domination, only harmony, and in that harmony lies the secret to our well-being. Let us therefore nurture the life within us as we would nurture the world beyond us, thoughtfully, gratefully, and with unwavering respect for the living balance that makes us whole. The future of health will not be built by those who chase shortcuts, but by those who honor the quiet intelligence of nature. These 5 fermented drinks are not miracles, they are reminders. Reminders that life thrives where life exists. When we drink what is alive, we restore what is human. So the next time you hold a glass of kefir, kombucha, or lassi, do not see it as a trend, see it as a return to balance, to wisdom, and to the living partnership that sustains us all